Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and welcome to another episode of Squad Overview. This time we are taking a look at Leicester City, the 2016 Premier League champions. Can you get them back at least into the top 4 argument? Hopefully in this episode I will give you some tips on how to improve the Leicester squad. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to click that notification bell to know when a new video goes up on the channel. And also don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say or a team you want me to take a look at. Let's dive into this Leicester team then, shall we? Now, it's worth mentioning, as I always do at the start of these videos, we are using the FM21 database to show you these, but we have updated it to the end of the August window. So these are the players you will start FM22 with. And we're starting with the goalkeepers. Kasper Schmeichel will obviously be your #1 goalkeeper. Danny Ward, Welsh international, his amiable backup. Edlin Jakubiak is the third choice goalkeeper. Look out for Daniel Everson as well. On loan at the moment, but has the prospect to be a really good goalkeeper going forward for Leicester. So you're fine in this department. Moving over to right back, you've got a few options in this position, particularly Ricardo Pereira, who's been with the club an awful long time now, and is probably going to be the first choice right back. James Justin is another one, but he can play anywhere across the back four. That's a really good attribute for him to have. Daniel Amati is the other one. Timothy Castagna can also play on the right and the left. Darnell Johnson is one of the good ones coming through from the academy. So you've got plenty of options at right back. As you have on the left-hand side, Timothy Castagna, as we mentioned, he'll probably play predominantly on this left-hand side. Ryan Bertrand has come in from Southampton this summer. Very good signing. Luke Thomas is one they are absolutely raving about at Leicester. And obviously, as I mentioned, James Justin, he can play right across the back four. So you've got plenty of options on this side as well. As you have centrally, Leicester are very much secure at the back. There is no need really to go out and buy anybody. Johnny Evans, obviously a mainstay of this Leicester side. Wesley Fofana, Soyuncu, Vestergaard has come in from Southampton. Benkovic is another good centre-back. Sam Hughes is one coming through the academy. And obviously Daniel Amati, he can play at centre-half, but I think you're probably going to see him in midfield if I were you. But yeah, at centre-back, they've certainly got enough for the first season. Obviously Johnny Evans is starting to get on, so you might look to try and replace him. Moving in to that defensive midfield position, they have strengthened in this area with Samar coming in this summer. Assam Traoré is still with the club. Wilfred Ndidi, Daniel Amati we've already mentioned. Keenan Dewsbury Hall is someone they are really raving about. He's had good loan spells away from the football club. This is the time now to get him in the first team and let him show the Premier League what he can do. But you're fine in this defensive midfield position. Moving into the central midfield position, just one or two to mention for here. Yuri Tillemans will obviously play that position, although he can play further forward. James Maddison can also play this position, but I see him very much as further forward. Leicester have got so many options in the centre of the park. It's a really good thing to see, and it does mean you're probably not going to have to do too much in the first window at least. Moving out to the right-hand side of the attacking three, because I think Leicester will play 4-2-3-1, or at least that's what I would play with them if I was managing them. Adil Lukman has joined them on loan for the season. He is a very good prospect. He has had a lot of time in and out of England over the last few years. It might be something you look to turn permanent in the summer if you can. Harvey Barnes can play right and left. Again, lots of good options for him. Michael Brighton has been with the club a few years now. He can play on the right and the left. Ayoze Perez will predominantly play on this right-hand side. James Maddison can also play there as well, but as I've said already, he will probably be predominantly down the centre for you, I would imagine. Of the ones coming through the academy, Tyrese Shade is probably the best one coming through from this list. Same sort of options on the left-hand side. We've mentioned Lookman, we've mentioned Harvey Barnes already. Michael Brighton as well. Luke Thomas can play further forward if you want him to. Even Timothy Castagna can play further forward. So there's an option to potentially play 5 at the back with Leicester as well. Lots and lots of good players to play in good positions. If I had one criticism of the Leicester squad, though, they don't have a lot of playmakers in the side. Obviously, James Maddison will be predominantly your playmaker, but he really other than Yuri Tillemans, is the only one that can play behind the striker. So you might want to look at bringing someone else in. That's just my opinion. Obviously, this is all just my opinion, but that's certainly what I would look to do, just to give you a few more options, because obviously Maddison is very injury prone. If he does pick up an injury early season, you are in a bit of trouble with creating chances for the strikers, of which there are three main strikers for Leicester. Jamie Vardy, we all know about, fantastic player, getting on in years but still knows where the back of the net's. Canelli Iheanacho is another good striker. Patson Daka is the guy that's come in this summer and now looks to be hitting the ground running for Leicester City. George Hurst is out on loan. He's another good prospect. David Hurst's son. Remember him back in the early years of the Premier League. So yeah, there are a few options in the striking department. I wouldn't necessarily look in the summer window to bring someone in, but maybe in the end of next summer. Obviously, Jamie Vardy, as I mentioned, he's getting on a little bit. He will need some support, and that's where I would look to strengthen this team. So there we go. That is Leicester City's squad overview done. Not a lot to do, but a few areas of the park that you could improve to help Leicester push on for that top 4 place. I think the Championship is probably a little bit out of reach. First season, maybe second season. But if you can bring in the right players into this squad, they have a great core of a squad. You can certainly push them on into the Champions League places and maybe beyond. Who knows? I'd love to see what everyone's going to do with Leicester City this season. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to leave me a comment as well if you've got any teams for me to take a look at, as well as comments on the video itself. I've been FMZ. That was Leicester City. Until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.